Hey guys, I am with Guildwood artist Craig Robertson. We are in beautiful Guild Park to talk about Craig's music, in particular his new album called Late Mornings, coming out this September. All right, Craig, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Ulrich.
So, this whole thing here started really because I found your music online. I listened to the new video, the new video that you just put out from the new album, called Cheap Old Watch.
Yes.
It was really cool, and it was like the great music.
Thank you.
And a great video, which was shot right here in Guild Park, partially. Yeah. And I'll link to that video in the description. So, I want to hear more about the song, the album that's coming, and about your music in general.
Yeah, the song itself, Cheap Old Watch, really kind of inspired by literally a watch that was given to me by my dad, that was via his father, so from my grandfather. And that kind of had a nugget of an idea. Then I've always been inspired by the Kingston Road motel strip along there, and the people who kind of come and go in their lives there, and that's kind of became the inspiration for the song as well. And then the video, which was shot, a shout out to Sean Ryan, who shot the video, directed it. Sean Ryan Images, you can Google that. He had this idea for, ironically enough, he didn't know that I lived in Guildwood, and he wanted to shoot it at the Guild Park because he knew of all the artifacts here. He thought, I have this idea for all these artifacts. I said, well, do you know that I live 30 seconds down the road? So there was a cool synchronicity there, and we went out on a really, really foggy day, and the fog was very low, and so we did some shooting down in Bluffers Park. The beach there, it was completely empty, which is a rare thing. Got some footage down there, and got some footage along the Kingston Road strips, and then we ended up here in the Guild Park and spent the majority of the day shooting the video here, and he just shot various things. I didn't want it to be a performance video. I wanted me featured kind of like more mysterious and kind of murky, and he really captured that. So he did a beautiful job. A shout out to Sean, and I'm really proud of the song. The album is right here, is produced by Michael Timmons. He's from the Cowboy Junkies, and he did an amazing guy to work with, and I'm very, very grateful for that, and grateful for the musicians who performed on the album, my band, and
Did you write the album? You wrote the songs?
Yeah, I write all the songs. I'm a songwriter. I've been writing music for all my life, basically, and I actually left a full-time job 6 years ago to concentrate on music.
Really?
And writing music and performing. So yeah, all the songs written by me, and I've got tons of songs, and keep on writing and keep on recording them. So
that's pretty incredible. So is this the first full album that you're putting out?
This is actually my third.
Really?
So yeah, so I released an album a few years ago called Family Name. That was if you saw, there's a video up on my YouTube channel called Caledonia Rain from that album. That's got a lot of hits, and that's always a big one when we play it live. And then prior to that, I released an album called Everything Will Pass. So in the past, I guess 5 years, I've released. This will be my third full release.
Yeah. So the all the songs on this album, then, is there a specific theme? How do they relate to Cheap Old Watch?
There's some songs that are personal, like that were inspired by personal stories. Some of the songs just kind of fall out of the sky for me, and they just happen. I didn't really go into the album with a specific theme in mind. I kind of just wanted to gather the best songs that I had at the time, and the songs that were kind of vibing with the band, and get them on tape. There might be a little theme of people who were kind of down on their luck. I've always been kind of relating to that, and I kind of like the idea of maybe telling their stories, and so maybe that might be a little bit of a theme. But musically and stuff like that, there's lots of great guitar playing, and some great fiddle and on it as well. So
How does it? You mentioned live music. So when you write the music, like the actual song and the music, is that part of the process? Thinking, how will this work when I play live?
Sometimes. That's a great question. There are songs that the band that we do live that we haven't recorded, that are more like they really have a nice feel live, and they're nice and energetic, but lyrically and thematically, like they kind of don't work recording for now, anyways. So
Interesting.
So but the album, with my band, I specifically wanted to record the album. Well, we recorded the album live off the floor, so it wasn't like just recording each instrument separately. The band, we were in a room playing music together as humans.
Yeah.
And so. I've always liked music like that, the little quirks in the character, and you get that energy. You can feel the energy of people playing music in a room, and I think that the album kind of captured that.
That's interesting. The video, Cheap Old Watch. So the music in the video, is that then the exact same copy that's on the CD, or are they two different versions?
No, that's the version. The video is the actual song, and that's the song. Yeah, there's no remixes. I'm not going to remix my record.
No, well, I'm a little ignorant because I don't know the process. I mean, I'll buy an album and listen to it and have a good experience, but I have no clue how this stuff is put together.
It's a process. Everybody kind of does it differently. Like I had the songs, and I went to Michael and we kind of talked about what songs we should record. We actually recorded 14 songs for the album, and go into the studio, and he plugs everything in, and he mics all the guitars and all that kind of stuff, and we just start playing. And we probably did 2 or 3 takes of each song, and that we were really on the money. And then once it's recorded, that it has to be mixed, and then it has to be mastered, and then you have to do all the artwork and the album. I should get the album again. Sorry, there I am. I had to get all the pictures taken. My wife actually is a photographer, a wonderful photographer, and she shot the album cover.
Okay.
So her name is Robertson, and she's a beautiful photographer. So once the music is all done, you got to go through the process of doing all this. Yeah. The album design was by a friend of mine, Adam Kemp. You have to get it manufactured, and it's a bit of a process. And we went into the studio last October. The album will be released in September, so it basically can be a year process.
It's like a full year process.
Yeah, it's a big undertaking.
Wow, and self-funded, obviously.
I completely self-funded it. I'm not a big believer in those GoFundMe things. I think that as an artist, I want to invest in myself. Yeah. And so, that's what I've done. Yeah.
Well, I really hope this video that we're making here right now today will then help promote this.
It's great.
This CD. We are, pretty small with a small audience in Guildwood Village, but you never know. We could have a wider reach. Before we wrap it up, there are two things. One, you brought a guitar case. Yeah. This thing, and I actually asked you to bring that because it's in the video.
It's in the video. Yeah.
So what's the story?
Well, this actually is the very first acoustic guitar I bought, and I've had this guitar since I was 13 years old or so, and it's not strung up properly. It's strung up for a different kind of tuning, and it's missing a string, and so I don't actually play this guitar live or play it in the studio or anything like that, because it doesn't really have any electronics or anything like that, but it has a cool look, so I actually use it for the video because it looks cool. And the case is just an old-fashioned case that I've had since I was 13 years old, and with all these stickers and stuff like that. So, because all my other cases they don't have the character. So actually, I brought this case for the video just because I thought it looked cool.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Before we started the video here, we talked a little bit about artists, and in particular musicians in Guildwood Village. And I have to admit that I don't know, aside from you, I don't really know any musicians. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me, well, there are quite a few of you.
Yeah, there's lots of musicians in Guildwood, and lots of them I know, and there's probably lots I don't know. Like on my street alone, there's a couple guys who have a band, and there's another songwriter who lives around the corner. Around the bend from me, there was a guy who was a guitar teacher, and he plays. And I know there are pockets of musicians all over Guildwood, and and that some of them play live and some of them don't play live. Some of them are music teachers or whatnot. So, I think Guildwood, because I grew up in Guildwood, and I still live here. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of artistic people in the area, and I think blogs like what you're doing, Ulrich, are really positive to kind of get the word out that it's a pretty cool place to live, and there's a lot of cool people doing some cool things. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we should almost try to put together a Guildwood Village music festival.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I actually put together when we had the ice storm.
Yeah.
I actually did a charity show up at the Stone Cottage Inn. A shout out to Chris Short.
Really?
At the Stone Cottage, and I had a bunch of my musician friends in the area. We all
Yeah.
played, and we raised a bunch of money for the Scarborough Community Shelter.
That's amazing.
To kind of give back. So
Yeah.
I'm actually planning on doing something like that again. Maybe not for charity, just to kind of showcase some more musicians up in Guildwood. And I know my friend Jay Muna. He does a ukulele night up at the Stone Cottage, and
Right.
so there are musicians. There are lots of people here doing lots of cool things, and Chris at the Stone Cottage has always been really, really cool to support local musicians. So.
I think that's something this blog here definitely needs to dig into a lot more. So, Craig, thank you very much for doing this. Can you just hold up the album one more time?
Yeah.
And then that'll be our closing shot.
It'll be available September 14th on all the digital streams, like on iTunes and Apple Music and Spotify and all that stuff. You can go to my website too, craigrobertsonmusic.com, to find out more and hear some of the songs from the album. And if you want to come see us live, I have these, and you can take home a picture of me and my music. So
That's perfect.
yeah.
All right, Craig, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ulrich.
Thanks. Bye now.